Hi everyone, and thanks for passing by. Hope you guys are having an amazing start of 2024. So here we have the new controller from Turtle Beach. I bought this controller with my own money, so I would really appreciate it if you guys consider subscribing and hit the like button. That will greatly help the channel and allow me to bring more content like this. And whatever you are listening here and not seeing here is my own opinion, so it doesn't influence it by nothing else. So as we can see, the shape is similar to the Xbox, and here there is the USB Type-C port for charge. So let's open it up, the case, and check what we have inside. So here is the controller itself. We will get to that in a minute. Included the docking when you can charge with a USB Type-C provided cable. This is a USB Type-C and Type-A braided cable long 3 meters. And here we have the case, which have this, I don't know if I'm able to show you, they have this texture here which is nice and not going to damage somehow the controller if it's moving inside the case. And here we have some stick cover because this controller doesn't have removable sticks. So if you need some different grip or some different texture for your thumbstick, you have to use this one. This one, for example, it has a really nice grip, and the other one here have this concave shape. And here we have the receiver itself that you have to press this button here for pairing. They are already paired, but in case you want to pair with another device, you can press this button here and pair it again. You can use this connecting to USB Type-A port on your computer or on your Xbox, or you can use it by connecting it here. So you can connect it at this USB port here. So you can use the dock for charging the controller itself and also for as a hub USB for the receiver. Speaking about design and materials, this is pretty similar to the Xbox controller Elite 2, and we have of course certain differences for the D-pad here, for the screen, and for other buttons, but for, let me say, 70 or 90% this is really similar to the Xbox controller. We have also some differences about the materials. As we can see here, we have this part here which is supposed to be the grip, which I have to say I don't particularly like this one, because to me the texture of the Xbox Elite controller is better because it's covered all this, and the texture, also the feeling on when you grip with your hands, it's really different. But I have to say this controller is really light. Some people complain because it's light and don't feel premium or don't feel whatever they have in mind. Anyway, having a light controller, in my opinion, is a good thing if you want to game a couple of hours or whatever. In terms of ergonomic, I have to say this is really well done, so you don't have any issues when you put your hands on, when you want to hold your controller. As so in whatever games you are gaming, shooters or racing or whatever, you're going to be able to reach all the buttons without any issues. We have also the back button, so we have all the buttons in a good position and we don't have to move our fingers too much. So for the ergonomic part, this is really well done. Now there are different ways on which you can connect the controller to your PC or to your Xbox or to your mobile if you want to use it with your mobile. We have the receiver here, which I highly suggest to use this one. We will get the best performances. You can use also the provided USB cable if you want to charge and also to use the controller at the same time. Speaking about charging, there are 3 ways you can charge the controller using the USB Type-C cable and also the magnetic support here. So you have to put your controller here and then connect your USB cable and leave it as so, or you can put it inside here, and so there is this little hole here, so you can connect your USB as so, and you can leave it inside here while charging. You can use also the app with a Bluetooth. We will test that. They say it's compatible with Android. We will test it also with iOS, with the iPhone, to check if in case this is possible to connected to the iPhone. This is specifically tested to work with the Xbox and designed to work with Xbox and PC. So speaking about buttons and thumbsticks and everything else, we have the classic layout of the Xbox. Here we have the share and the menu buttons as we usually are being using on the Xbox controller. Here is the Xbox button for turning on and turning off the controller. Here we have sharing, LED status, and this is for entering the menu. We will get to that in a minute. And here we have the D-pad and then some RGB lighting. We will get to that also with a dedicated tab for all the RGB lighting and all the setup. And also here we have the 3.5mm jack for connecting your headphones. But there are 2 main features which I particularly like. There are the thumbsticks and the screen. The thumbsticks have the Hall effect, so you are never going to have these issues with the drift thumbsticks. As you might know, guys, most of the controllers, after a while they will start drifting on left or right, usually left if I'm not wrong. Xbox controllers have this issue when they drift on the left with the left stick. They be start drifting on the left side. So wherever you are gaming, you will be seeing all your objects, all your movements going through the left. At least with my Xbox controller Elite, that will happening after 8 months, more or less 9 months, that I've been noticing the left drifting. So in this case, we are not going to have any issues with the thumbstick. And here we have also the screen. So let me turn on the controller and check the screen. So once you turn on the controller, the RGB lighting will turn on. So you will have this lighting here. You can turn also these lights off. We will get to that in a minute. So here we have our screen. So you can enter in on the menu here by just pressing this plus button. This won't be an advanced settings on the screen. That will be a dedicated video. So if you guys want to know more, stay tuned, and I will be going through some advanced settings. So this is just a quick overview. So for entering the menu, you have to press the plus button here, then Y, and then with the D-pad you have to move through the different settings. So here we can do some interesting stuff. For example, we can do one particular feature which I like it the most, that is the axis mapping. So you can calibrate somehow your left and right sticks with going through all these submenus. This is a particular and useful submenu in my opinion. So you're going to have all the calibration and all the values here in the display. So you're not forced to go through the PC app or the mobile app. You can do all the settings going through on this display, which I find it particularly useful. Here we have the lighting if you want to change the RGB or if you want to change some effects and everything else. Then here we have some other settings regarding, for example, the uplink. If you want to pair the controller with your mobile app, here we have the connect. So you can move between Xbox and PC if you want to, and some other settings on the system, firmware updates, calibration if you want to calibrate the sticks and the triggers. And then on the back of the controller we have the P1, P2, P3, P4 triggers. These are placed in a really comfortable position in my opinion. So wherever you are having your fingers like so, you are not going to have any issues identifying which button you are pressing, and they are in a, let me say, in a really good position because your hand will be here, as we can see here. I don't know if I'm able to show you. So as we can see, we have our hands here, so you don't have any issues of reaching all the both buttons if you want to. So, and here we can change the left and the right triggers if you want to use those for shooters, similarly as we do with the Xbox Elite controller. I have to say that this button feels a little bit wobbling, as we can see also here. I just move a little bit too much, but I didn't feel any issues with testing it. I didn't feel any issues with just having the response times or accidentally pressing stuff. So I have to say this, whatever they are feeling wobbling, they are doing their job pretty good. Also here we have the right and the left buttons here, which have also that clicky sound. One thing to mention here is that the thumbsticks, they are not removable, so you cannot change the thumbstick. So the only thing you can do is to put these thumbstick covers here and then change your grip, or have different, if you want to be a concave or if you want to have this with a more grip. So if you want to have, as we usually do with the Xbox controller, if you want to have this button a little bit higher than the other one, or this one, depending on your games, you cannot do it here. You can buy some aftermarket adapters, but then I don't know if the feeling will be the same or if this will have the same. So let's connect the controller to the computer and check some settings also there and some gaming performances. Alright guys, once you connect the USB dongle on your system, the controller will be automatically paired to the dongle, so you don't have to do nothing else. So you have to download and install the Turtle Control Center 2, and here we have the first thing. You connect the controller. Here we have what you see on the app. So if you click on our controller, then we go on all the submenus. This won't be a deep dive on all the settings. That will be a dedicated video. So if you want to know more, stay tuned and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. So here we have the first thing that we are seeing here are the dead zones, which are 5% on the left stick and the right stick. I don't understand why and how this shouldn't be 5%. It should be 0 in my opinion, but we will correct that anyway. And here we have the profiles. We have 10 different profiles if you want, for each game, if you want to apply certain profiles. So we have local profiles and device memory profiles. So pay attention between these, because device memory means that it's going to stay on the controller itself, and local profiles, it's what is in the app and on your system. Here we have the back buttons. As we can see, P1, P2, P3. You can decide to assign to those buttons other buttons, as we can see here. Just let's move quickly to the sticks, and here we have the sticks as we have seen on the first menu here, we have the left stick dead zone at 5%. I don't understand why this shouldn't be 0% because this is an anti-drift thumbstick, so you don't need those compensation on the dead zone. Here we have other submenus, precision fast, so you can change, as we can see here, we can change and we can calibrate also the sticks. And let's move again quickly to the triggers, and here we have the triggers for left and right triggers. Again, if you press the triggers, you are going to see this animation on, and it's going to show you how fast the triggers are reacting on when you press them. Here we have the game volume. This is something, if you want to connect your headset to the controller, then you can manage the game volume and the chat volume. So you can even enable superhuman hearing, which personally I don't like it, but you might like it, so you might want to enable that. And here we have the mic monitoring if you want to monitor yourself while speaking on the game, and here is the chat mix if you want to listen more to the game and to the voice, mic mute, and so on. These are also settings that are inside the controller, so you can change it through the display. So this is just something else. If you want to change those settings, you can do it on the controller itself using the display. And here we have certain equalizers for the headset that you are connected to the 3.5mm jack. And moving to lighting, you can decide here for the RGB, and if you want, you can even disable, as I was mentioning earlier, saving some battery, or if you don't want it at all, and then you can choose whatever colors you like the most, and you can even customize it here. Then moving to the vibration, we can change and we can choose the vibration of each trigger, so you can change on how much you want those vibrations to be on the triggers. So again, here we have some system settings if you want to set the screen timeout, or if you want to set the sleep timeout, or if you want to calibrate, and if you want to reset the settings. And the power mode, for example, eco will turn off certain lights and will dim the screen, and balance set is self-explanatory, so able to balance all those settings, and full I will leave full power. And on the custom submenu, you can decide your settings, your light brightness, screen timeout, and whatever else. And the last tab is firmware, so you can download and update the firmware on the controller, which I highly suggest as the first thing to do on when you get on a controller, to connect it on your system and then update the firmware, because there are different firmware updates. Here we have two subsections of this menu for the firmware update: the controller and the transceiver. If you open the Xbox accessories app, you will find the controller, as we can see here, just with really basic settings. So I would avoid to use the Xbox accessories app, because it's not going to give you all the submenus and all the settings that you want on the controller. So that is, we have just basic settings, so this is something I really would avoid to use. Connecting to the mobile is pretty easy. You have to enable the menu on the controller from going to the app link, then pair it with your mobile and check certain things. You cannot change too much on the mobile app. You have just the chance to check the profiles, check some infos, and nothing more. You can maybe factory reset the settings or change some LED settings or some power modes, but other than that, you cannot change other settings. So the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra controller is priced at $200, and although it has the Hall effect anti-drift thumbstick, I believe this price is a little bit too much high. The right pricing should have been $150 in my opinion. So let me know down in the comments, guys, what do you think about this pricing and the quality, and also the firmware issues that this controller actually has with latest firmware. The Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra controller is a great controller. It has the anti-drift thumbsticks, a well done and useful screen, and it has good ergonomics. There are a couple of things that are difficult to accept if you consider the $200 price tag, like the firmware issues and the apps, all of them, mobile, PC, Xbox, which aren't designed to be easy, and you might get confused about what you can do and what you cannot do and which settings to change. Other than that, this controller is a good alternative to the Elite 2 and can be a perfect choice, the first choice if you are using it between PC and Xbox, if Turtle Beach manages in the future to release some bug fixes with the next firmware and make the app easiest to use. If you found this video about the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra wireless controller helpful, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and don't forget to enable the notifications. Thanks a lot for your support, and thanks for watching.